You were a liar. He was sure of it. Nightmare quack his arse. He was utterly convinced that you had some type of sort of mind manip. You were a liar. He was sure of it. Nightmare quack his arse. He was utterly convinced that you had some sort of mind manipulation quirk. It was the only logical explanation. Why else would you be in his thoughts 24/7? Why else would his heart skip a beat whenever he heard your soothing voice right behind him? Why would he always search for you in a room of villains and gravitate towards you without a thought? You manipulated him, he was certain. He stared blankly at you as you draped your arms over the captive hero's shoulder, pressing your cheek to his, smiling when he whimpered, and tried to fidget away as you whispered to him. The fidgeting suddenly stopped, and he smiled, slipped into a grin as his head flopped forwards, his body relaxing as he began to murmur incoherently. After a minute of listening to his rambles, your eyes fading into the same shades of the hero's, you straightened up and met his gaze, and after a brief second, the familiar eye colour he adored so much had returned. He doesn't know anything, you told him, staring intently at him before gesturing at the hero. What should we do with him? He hated the way he felt giggly, like a teenage girl, under your gaze. Kill him. Would you like to do the honours? You queried as you sauntered towards him, his heart still fluttering anxiously in his chest. You wouldn't be able to kill him if you tried, he shot back, pushing himself off the wall and flinching when he felt your fingers glance across his chest briefly. I'd get out of here if you don't want to be killed yourself. You hummed out a laugh. See you then. And just like that, you were gone. Braid watching over him as he lifted his hand and curled his fist, finding some satisfaction as the feeling of the blue flames licking his scarred fingers. Before shooting them directly at the hero, he turned on his heels and slowly walked out of the building, shoving his hands into his pockets. As he stepped through the doorway, gaze turning to his right, eyes arching up towards the sight of you leaning against the wall. I thought you were leaving. I was, you hummed, abruptly taking a step towards him and placing one hand on his chest and the other on the back of his neck. His breath caught in his throat, but he kept his expression as neutral as possible. But I've had something on my mind for a while. He took a step back, but you merely stepped with him, pressing your chest against him, looking up at him through your eyelashes, a gentle smile playing on your lips. He grit his teeth, trying to ignore the way his heart began to stutter erratically. Don't you think I don't notice the way your heart seems to skip a beat when I'm around? He murmured, fingers scraping up his chest and brushing over. Do you think I don't notice the way your heart seems to skip a beat whenever I'm around? He murmured, fingers creeping up against his chest and brushing over where his heart thudded wildly. A smirk replaced your sweet smile. The way your breath gets caught in your throat. Your fingers crept up to the base of his neck, fingernails scratching across the skin. The way your mind goes wild whenever I'm here. The way your hands get all clammy. The way your eyes follow me everywhere I go. I wonder what all that could mean. I don't know what you're talking about, he grunted, stiffening when you began to circle around him, your fingers brushing across his sides and back. Don't you? You came to a stop to his left, your hand pressed against a small part of his back as you leaned against him, pressing your chest up against him and putting your mouth close to his ear. That's a shame. If you did, then I would have assumed you had a crush on me. He put his head to the left, looking at you over his shoulder and attempting to keep his expression blank. He held your eyes for a moment, half skipping another beat, but then his favourite colour faded into a sickly yellow. Your features began to melt away and being replaced by the ditzy one of the biggest pain in his arse. A hiss slipped past his lips as he stepped away, embarrassment flushing his cheeks. You're fucking crazy, he bit out, beginning to walk away from Toga as a cheerful giggle slipped past the girl's lips as he skipped after her. So I'm right, you love her. I don't know what you're talking about, he repeated firmly, the light of the fire engulfing the building that they had just been in moments earlier, illuminating the streets for him. He turned into the alleyway, where the sirens started to go sound behind them. Sighing when Toga turned into the alleyway with him, started to hum himself. Leave me alone, would you? Crazy, I'm not in the mood for any of your crap. Fine, I will. Toga came to the stop in the alleyway. But answer this question first. Do you really love her? Dabi came to a stop, refusing to turn around and meet her eyes. He clenched his jaw, hesitating for a moment. No. Maybe he was a liar too.